Well, welcome to the British GT podcast, mate.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, so we're just going to dive straight into that, a bit about you.
Yeah.
Tell us about how you got into racing and sort of how you've sort of ended up in British GT a little bit. I know you started by karting, wasn't it? In when you were 11, right?
11, yeah, that's correct.
And how did you progress from that sort of to where you are now?
Well, I actually started with dirt biking and like quad biking. That's what I wanted to be. Like Deegan, I think it is. You may be familiar with the name. He's a big guy in the US.
That's wicked.
Yeah, I wanted to be like him, but to be truthful, I was absolutely rubbish. I remember going around Mikey Doble's track. He's a touring car driver, actually. He lives near me. And some like 7-year-old kid flew past me and I was like 10. I was like, oh, I can't do this. All right, I'm rubbish. Anyway, fast forward on to senior school, and my school have a go-karting club, and I did that. You know, I was beating all the older kids and stuff like that. I was quite quick. So that's what I was like, okay, I want to do this. And there's a kid that went to my school who was 2 years above me, Ollie Gray. He races LMP2 now.
Yeah, I don't know. That's wicked.
Yeah. So obviously my dad spoke to his dad.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, go karting with this team, whatnot.
Yeah.
Got into karting, did all the karting. Had a year out for my GCSEs, and then GB4.
Yeah.
Finished fourth in the championship in my first year, and then British GT last year was Solkeld.
Yeah. Did really well.
Yeah. That was a really good year.
Yeah.
And then we're here this year with Chomp.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So that's the school that you were at. Obviously, you don't have to name any names, but I feel like it's pretty rare to have like essentially like a racing society or whatever you want to call it, like racing club, like karting club. That's pretty rare. Do you feel like what was his name? Ollie Gray, you say?
Ollie Gray, yeah.
He went to that club as well. How many drivers have come from that club, would you say?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think it's something that's been going on for so long, but he probably didn't do it. I think Ollie was karting before that.
Yeah, sure.
But I think we wanted to start karting when I was like a little kid, but my dad was like, no, I can't be bothered to drive you to Buckmore, which was an hour or two away.
Sure.
So he was like, no.
Yeah.
But then we eventually did do it, and look what mess he's got into now, right?
Yeah.
So,
It pays off, doesn't it? Like, you do have to jump the gun, like with motorsport, especially, you know, more than I do, but you do have to sort of bite the bullet and dive in deep with motorsport, don't you?
Yeah, of course.
One thing that I think we should definitely cover now, which is obviously everyone that's going to be watching is going to be thinking of it, is obviously you've got the Chomp car, which has attracted a crazy amount of attention this year. Whose idea was it with the livery?
So me and Jack both said, like, we want to stand out.
Yeah.
And we were like, so there's some teams in, I'm not familiar the name exactly, but NASCAR and some IMSA teams, and they have like, I think one's a raccoon, and they had like these on the pits, they're like pit boards, and they like light up at night.
Yeah.
One was like a raccoon, the other guys had like foxes, and we wanted like a little mascot, right?
Yeah.
So I told them all about. So I had these magnets last year, and they went quite well.
Yeah.
People loved them. You know, anything they get at autograph signings, of
course.
People love it. Right? Can't help a freebie, right?
Absolutely.
And so we decided we wanted to stand out, and we were like, oh, what can we do? Yeah. So teeth on the car, I think that's a big thing to make it into a character.
Yeah.
And so we met up in London because we're both local to London, me and Jack, and we were walking through Chinatown, and we were like, Century Red, Chinese Red, Chinese New Year Dragon.
Yeah.
Just put two and two together. And
it's worked beautifully.
Yeah.
Like obviously the fans
amazing.
are all loving it, and it's caused a bit of a stir with those comparisons to like Rexy and things like that.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Which the American fans probably don't like so much, but I mean, attention's attention, isn't it?
Whatever way you get it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And like you say, you've got those sort of physical things which you can give out to people now, which people love, like the stickers and like everything like that. Like you say, associating that character with the car is just like that's
it's awesome.
In itself,
like loads of I think not all Americans, but majority of, should we say, the hate came from the American fans, and they were like, sue this, like jackass and stuff, and it's like, and they were like, they were saying, oh, you copied AO, they had teeth.
Yeah, I see a lot
and some
of that.
people were like, oh, they invented teeth. It's like, no, teeth has been around on like race cars for so long. And AO only started it in 2018 maybe,
Yeah,
2022.
it's recent history.
Recent, yeah, and there's like a photo of car at Le Mans in like
Yeah.
the early 2000s, 1990s
Yeah,
or
with
something.
them.
But anyway, they're not our target audience.
No, they don't watch British
Yeah,
GT.
exactly.
You would think, anyway.
And also for me and Jack, I was telling him, I was like, it's almost a positive. Like, you see any big creator online, they always have, realistically, most people always have hate. So
Yeah,
like, you then know, right, you're doing something well because you've got all these positive comments and you're getting hate. It's not just,
Yeah, exactly.
you know, you've like blown up in a sense.
So
right?
when we get hate on the podcast,
then
we've done
then
well. Okay, good to know.
But
Yeah, I
more or
mean,
less.
it's you and Jack being like, it seems from an external point of view at least that you guys have literally got off like really well together from the get-go kind of thing. And I think that's really important. Obviously, we mentioned about like driving styles and how you're similar, which I think British GT is obviously sharing a car. Mm-hmm. That's like one of the biggest factors that you can actually, you have a similar sort of direction in the way that you want that set up.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there, in the it's okay if the answer is no. Is there a dream teammate? Not on the, it doesn't have to be on the British GT grid. Is there a dream teammate that you would like anyone in the world?
Dream teammate. Something you don't really think about much. Not really. I wouldn't say there's anyone that I've like thought about having as a teammate. Yeah. Maybe someone like who's got a lot of history to them, like Lewis.
Yeah.
You know, someone.
Then
like,
if you get smoked by them, it looks bad on you.
Yeah, of course. But I think, or like you see in GT World Challenge, like Rossi, Valentino.
Yeah.
Like the amount of fun. Press that brings in, like everyone, all that tension. I think that would be cool on that side of things. But I mean, I'm not sure really. I couldn't really answer that.
What's the teammate dynamic like? Because motorsport's a weird one, isn't it? Where like typically you want to, obviously like, your time in GB4, you're only compared to your teammate really, so you kind of have to beat them quite comfortably. It's a very different setup that we have here. So what's that dynamic like between you and Jack?
What, time-wise, you mean? Or
no, so like your relationship between each other, say following a session, good or bad, are you trying to, if you've put half a second on him, for example, are you sharing that data between each other? Are you being completely honest? Or are you like, no, I quite like being in front sort of thing?
Well, that's something I told him, like, when we first met. I was like, that's how I want it to be. Like, sometimes you can sort of sense that with some drivers and some teams, that certain people may not hide stuff, but not share the like everything. But no, me and Jack were like transparent, and I sort of view it as, why would you hide something from your teammate if you can make him quicker? Like, it's a team sport. It's like you need your teammate as quick as possible, and if he is quicker than you, then so be it. You learn from him.
And that's the nicest thing, is that actually it's someone that you can directly learn from, rather than like compare yourself against.
And me and Jack were so close over a lap, but we're not so close everywhere, right? I'll be quicker here, he'll be quicker there. Then he does what I do there, I do what
you blend a little bit.
It's really helpful having someone that close.
And this is his first campaign in British GT. This is obviously your second. So you're the experienced teammate. Obviously,
I wouldn't say very experienced.
You're still young and you're still new, but how is it sort of taking, I suppose, more of a senior role in the team? Like, do you feel like you're settling into that nicely, or do you feel like it's not really like a senior role? Do you feel like pretty 50-50?
I wouldn't say 50-50. Obviously, I've got experience and I can tell Jack things, but at the same time, we're both 19.
Exactly.
It's a bit different to like a pro and an am situation. Obviously, I give him advice, you know, like these guys last year, when they overtake the GT3s, they're assholes. You know,
they go for it.
You got to watch this guy, or you know, this one will smash you off if you're not careful. Stuff like that. Not everyone, obviously, but just as an example, right? Or like under full course yellow, do this, do that. So I can give him advice, but it's not like I'm world class, I know so much more. And I sort of view it as we both have a year in GT4 like experience. He did Ginetta GT Academy, which is basically the Ginetta GT4 that's there.
Same, isn't it?
So I don't view it as, you know, we're not equal. I view it as, you know, we're both equal. We're going into this.
I think that helps push you forward as a team as well. You both silver drivers, so You don't need that hierarchy. It's not a pro-am
Yeah.
situation like you mentioned. So so that's definitely strong. I do want to ask about the potential future. Like, what is, obviously you made that switch from GB4 to GT. What was that? What was the decision behind that to start off with?
So it was strange. I basically more or less had a contract signed to do GB4 for 2025. And then I got approached asking if I wanted to test the McLaren GT4.
Yeah.
And obviously I said yeah. And then I went to my dad, I was like, can we do it? And obviously we had to sort of think about things, because GB3 went from around 400 grand, 350 to 600. And some people told me today, funny enough, that is almost at 700 now. For some
Crazy,
budgets.
isn't it?
Yeah, so when it like doubles pretty much overnight with the new car, for me to barely be able to, we would have struggled to do GB3, but maybe manageable with some sponsors. 700 grand is way out of our budget. So you also have to think, okay, what next? What are we doing next? You're going to do GB4, but then what are you doing after that? There's no point doing it if a year of single seaters, I think, is really valuable for learning, because it's really raw. You've got no ABS, no TC. It's
different
just you in the car. You get so much track time as well. So I think it's still good to do a year. Like you see that quite a lot. People do a year in F4, then bounce, do LMP, do GT, whatnot.
Bounce between them.
Sorry, what was the actual question?
What was the switch between?
Oh right.
What was that switch? Why did you switch?
Career path, right? Obviously, everyone in their first year of F4 is like, I'm going to F1. Some big sponsors come in. You soon then mature and realise that's not happening.
Hard,
so it's just, I think the career switch, more opportunities, just more choice. I'd say, and more opportunities.
And when you tested that McLaren, was that the first time in a GT car, in a sports car?
Yes. I did 2 days in a Ginetta Junior, when I was 14, I think, but that's about it.
2 days. So obviously you did well enough in that test and enjoyed it clearly enough to then get that jump into British GT. How did that come about? Like, was that because it's obviously you changed teams, because you were with Fox for GB4, weren't you?
Correct.
And then you changed
so Fox at the time weren't doing British GT. So I've now got an AM that I think helps fund, I think it's his car.
They are a joint team.
It's Townsend Racing,
Townsend,
right?
Fox,
So he's helping fund that. So Fox at the time weren't doing British GT, and my manager Mick knew, I think Les, our old team principal, Les. God, I can't speak. Les, our old team principal from Century, he knew him, and he put us in contact. And funny enough, we actually signed the contract with Century before even testing the car.
Wicked.
And my dad's thought behind it was, BMW, they're a strong car. If you compare them to McLaren, to Lotus, they're like a strong German car. They won't break down. They're robust.
They are.
It's like a bus. It's like a proper tank. And then I think the first race, my dad was so happy. Not happy that others failed, but with the McLaren, having engine problems, the Lotuses, Lotuses last year, I felt
awful. I felt bad.
My friend Josh Miller, he raced for Yankee, and I just felt so bad for him.
It was awful to watch as well.
Because they were fast. They were really qualify.
Quick.
You just couldn't race more than an hour. It felt like.
I did feel bad for them, and that was from a fan's point of view. So you can only dread to think how it felt as a driver. I did really feel for him. What's next? What's the long-term goal? Obviously, you said you wanted to sort of switch to GT for a more of a career path thing. Obviously, F1's the pinnacle of Formula stuff, single-seater. With GT, there's a little bit of a wider scope. You've got the IMSA, you've got WEC, things like that. Is hypercars would that be a dream, or actually is GT cars
I think no one here would turn down hypercar.
Oh,
I think they sort of go one-on-one with each. Obviously, there's so much GT racing, but WEC, sure, that's everyone's goal, right? And then to be in a hypercar is just, as in, it's like being in a GT3 here compared to a GT4. Everyone, you wouldn't turn it down. You wouldn't say no.
Yeah, of course.
But you're either paying a lot of money to be there or being paid to be in that seat.
It's far and few between, isn't there? It's really tough.
it's difficult. I'd say WEC is the goal, but more importantly, being paid is the goal.
Yeah.
And making it worthwhile, all the funding and time, hard effort that's gone into it.
Yeah, of course.
So to make a career out of it would be the goal.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
It's a real good insight, in all honesty, to a driver's, like, essentially driver's life. Because from an external point of view, you guys are racing drivers. It's like, no way, that's crazy. Like, that for us is like, that's dreamy. But I think it's very easy to forget the grind that goes behind it, and actually not knowing if you're, like, one, how much money you're forking out next season, or two, if you're even going to be able to race next season. Like, that can't be a nice feeling. So yeah, getting like a factory drive would be,
of course. That's everyone's goal, right?
Yeah.
And so much goes on that behind the scenes that you just can't tell, like from a fan's perspective, should we say, like not giving out information, but there's other stories I've heard where they just barely get onto the grid and stuff like that, and like you wouldn't know that walking down to like the autograph section, or you'd think, like, a lot of people, it's like a sort of stereotype that everyone's really rich, daddy's money, all that stuff, but it's not always like that. Obviously we're very fortunate, everyone is here, but a lot of people, a very small amount, are like fully just on sponsor funding, and that is so hard to do. To get sponsors is like they just don't reply. It's like,
it's the never-ending grind. You hear about it from so many drivers. Sponsors are like so difficult to get. I think it's only getting worse because things are only getting more expensive. So you're only needing more sponsors every year, which is just making it tough. Is British GT3 on the cards for you?
I've got to find an AM, so hopefully this goes out to an AM that wants to race with me for next year. It could be. I spoke to my manager today, funny enough, about next year, which I can't share too much about.
No, of course.
But I think to get in the GT3, I've got 2 years of GT4 under my belt. Obviously, it depends how I do this year. But I wouldn't say no, it's not on the cards. I mean, you never know what happens.
You see that natural progression, obviously, like Mark and Jack, they've obviously made that progression, and seemingly today at least they're kind of doing well. So like you say, if you can get a good season again under your belt and sort of try and improve, then never say never, sort of. But like you say, you need an AM. Like, you can't jump in with a Silverstone.
Like Jack did, right? So I could do another year of GT4. You know, GT3 in the future's on the cards, maybe. But like I said, you just have to see. There's a lot of unknowns with sort of plans for next year. Well, one final thing then. What's the plan? What's the goals for the season? Obviously, we know it's to win, but is that a realistic expectation for yourself? Like, you did really well last season. Was it 3 wins? I think. 3 wins. Can't remember how many podiums. We've got quite a few. It had a good pot hunting that year.
Are you looking to develop on that, or are you really eyes on the prize going for that championship?
I think, cause technically you already have the vice silver champion. I know there was only like 4 drivers in that.
Counts.
But it still counts, right? But to be vice champion again would, I don't think, you got to aim. Everyone aims to win. I think for my CV and budget-wise, future-wise, I think the win is something that I'm really going to try and do at all costs.
I mean, from a fan's perspective, it seems doable. You guys have looked pretty quick in testing. Obviously today it didn't quite go to to plan, but hey.
I mean, we qualified 6th out of 12, so I mean, or 13.
Yeah, you're in a good place.
And
definitely in a good place.
BMW isn't a qualifying car.
No.
So
as I was watching it go around the track, I don't know how it felt, and I might be completely wrong. You guys look much more unstable in like the high speed, like going through cops. You look a lot more unstable compared to like the McLaren, for example, which just looks planted through there. So
you got to think of if you just use your eyes, not in a rude way, but like you can see like the BM's like a bus.
Oh,
the McLaren's like so. There's different corners and different aspects that each car's like has its pros and cons, right? But ours is that we save our tyres really well. It's handy as the race is really long.
Definitely.
And it's a really good long stint race car. So it usually comes alive on Sunday when it matters the most.
And
so
that's the thing,
obviously
that's the important bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's not made on a Saturday. We're here purely for the Sunday.
don't get any
essentially.
points qualifying
Yeah,
first.
exactly. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's great that you've got a really good race package
Mhm.
and hopefully some good race strategy as well.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
So best of luck this weekend
Thank you very
and
much.
for the rest of the season.
Pleasure to meet you. My
And
hands are really sweaty,
likewise.
sorry.
It is. Are you nervous?
I don't know, I've been like this the whole time, so.
Well, I'm sure we'll get you on another episode in the future
Yeah,
to
yeah,
sort
of
of
course.
catch up, see how things are going.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that is all for now. So
Yeah.
so
Thank you,
Thank you
guys.
so much.
Can I plug my Instagram? It's
Yeah, go
Branden
for it.
Templeton. Please follow me.
Yeah, definitely go and follow
Yeah,
it. And if you
cheers.
haven't seen it, we've obviously got the logo on the Chomp car,
Yeah.
thanks to this guy.
Yeah.
So definitely go and check that out and take any pictures of it when you see it.